the question was, how do I get so much done and juggle everything? So that's a great question, and I wanted to kind of like first thank you for the question because I always get intimidated by the amount of work that other people do, and I think that I'm not doing enough, and I often have a little bit of anxiety about it where I just feel like I maybe could do more, like more blogging, more whatever. But I recently decided that if I'm not into it, if I don't like doing it, then it's not worth my time. And something that, has a good example behind it is I hate Pinterest. I absolutely hate it. I've never been good at it. I've never been interested in using it. Like, I'm not a person that will go on Pinterest and spend 10 minutes looking through pins. I just don't like it. And even before I was a designer or a blogger, I still didn't like it. So now that it's become such a big part of our industry, I just, I feel that pressure that I feel like I need to do it and excel at it. But I just decided recently that it's just not my thing, and I'm not going to waste my time and anxiety or get anxiety over it and try to do everything. So if you are a designer and you're feeling like you could do more, like you could be blogging more, you could be doing Instagram more, you could be doing Facebook more, yeah, you could. But if you hate it, then what's the point, right? You're just going to give yourself, bad feelings about everything that you're doing. So I guess the way that I would offer any advice is to try and stick to doing the things that you like. And if it's something that you have to do, if it's not really optional, then try and find a way that you can enjoy doing it. So that's like my first bit of advice in that regard. The second thing that you asked me was about how I kind of juggle doing a lot of like vlogging and blogging and Instagram lives and things like that when I have children. And it wasn't always so easy, but I'm really lucky now that my kids are 7 years old and 11 years old. So I've gotten advice before from other people like Stephanie from All About Ami, who tries to be very present with her children during, their hours, their daylight, like waking hours. And I try to do the same thing where we'll play together, we'll go places, we'll do lots of stuff together, especially at the very start of the day. So in the afternoon, morning time, we'll go see my grandmother, we'll go to the library, and things like that. But then when it's time for me to work, it's time for me to work. So they usually are kind of tired by then anyway, so they just want to hang out and watch a show or watch something on their phone or play a game. So they're just on the couch right now, like we've been out all day, and they're just on the couch right now just doing their own thing, so I can really just sneak away and they don't even notice that I'm gone. So that's where I try to sneak in those little bits of crocheting, the videos and things like that. And they don't need me as much as they used to. They're not toddlers. They can get their own drink. They can, if they want something from the fridge, they can just get it. So I have the luxury of having kids now instead of toddlers. So that does make a big difference. And when they go back to school in September, that's going to give me a lot more free time to continue doing the things that I do. I'm very lucky that I get to overlap a lot of the projects that I'm working on. So if I'm doing lots of Instagram stories, I'm going to save those and add them to my vlog, right? So you're kind of using that content and doubling it up. If I'm on a computer working, then I can definitely do my other work. If I'm on a computer anyway, I might as well do all of my posting at that time and things like that, if that makes sense. So I really try to use my time as wisely as possible. I'm not the best at it. I'm not perfect. I fall behind sometimes. And I definitely rely on my planner, my planner that I showed in my first vlog, to help me stay organized and stay on track of due dates. I do have different folders for different aspects of my job that I try to print emails out so that I can write on them and different things like that. I hope that answers your question. And if you have, follow-up questions, please let me know, because I'd be happy to answer them too. But it's definitely one of those things where just try to use your time as wisely as possible and don't do things that you don't like is my biggest tip, is just don't do the things that you don't like. I'm not going to waste any time on platforms that don't interest me because it's just going to make me spend more time on them and I'm going to hate it. I'd rather do things that make me happy and that I enjoy. So I hope that helps, and please send me any more questions if you have them.
Look at our secret passage. I left this open. Once there's a little girl who made a little fox stuffy and other stuffies. She got dressed, went to school. Her friend was going into the classroom, but she wanted to show him something, so she brought him outside and showed him. And then they went to school together, and then she thought about her stuffy. At the end, she went back home. Then she got it and kept looking at her pictures, and then she kept looking at them again. And then she did a show and tell of her and the stuffy.
Hi everyone, my name is Lee from CoCo Crochet Lee, and I would just love to welcome you to the brand new Stitch Together website. Stitch Together Official is a crochet along group that we started about a year ago with 8 admins, and I would love for you to take a second to introduce yourself to the admins in the About section on our website. You can read about all of the wonderful people that make Stitch Together happen on a monthly basis. We run a crochet along every single month, and the patterns are hand-picked, tech-edited, tested, and
I go twist this, and I would flip it. And then I looked at it and I'm like, this looks like it's getting better. So I figured out to keep twisting it.
oh my gosh, I've never solved a Rubik's Cube in my entire life. That's amazing. Are you going to mix it back up and do it again, or are you going to leave it like that forever?
I think I'm gonna mix it up again.
What? Okay. Oh my god, do it. Just do it. Do it. Mix it. Ah!
Oh, your hard work. No.
All that hard work. Do you think you'll be able to do it again?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, show me if you do it again, okay?
Okay.
Hey everyone, it's Lee from CoCo Crochet Lee, just inviting you to tonight's Whip Wednesday where I will be talking to Stephanie from By Stephanie Aaron. It's at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time and we can't wait to see you there. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see, guys. I'll keep you posted though. If I do wear it again, I'll definitely tell you and show you and send you guys some pictures. Maybe in the Whip Wednesday crochet group, I'll show you guys some pictures. Parent-teacher conference. Wow, that would be an impression. That would be an impression for my... So great to be able to see you. And when you came to the Yarn versus Everybody event, you were wearing one of your handmade designs. And can you tell us a little bit about how you kind of started designing and what got you into making crochet garments?
Sure. So I started crocheting about 3.5 years ago now. I just looked it up on YouTube and taught myself one day, like just randomly. And then about last fall, I think last November, I don't know, I was like, I've always drawn and I was starting to just, doodle things in my notebook. And I was like, hey, I could make that into a cowl. And then that turned into garments. And then I was like, this is all math. I really like math. And then that just kind of snowballed to where I am now.
Yeah, you're right. It is very, design oriented, but it's also very math oriented. So if you have kind of one of those brains that works in both avenues, then you're basically set up to, have unlimited design capabilities.
Yeah.
You've been designing pretty prolifically since you began publishing patterns. So how do you get so much done?
Okay, well, first of all, I live alone. I have no pets and no children, so I have a lot more free time than other people to start with. But I think that my process is also different from other people's when I've talked to them. So
the question and answer portion of the vlog just to wrap things up for this week. And thank you so much for everybody who has been watching. This is video number 2, and it's been so much fun, and it's been really amazing to see all the people that have subscribed and that the video has been watched 500 times. I think that's amazing. So thank you again, and thank you for all these questions. So I'm going to start from the top. The first one is, can you recommend some good resources for people just starting out in crochet and knitting? So one of the things that helped me the most when I was learning was stitch books. So if you can find any crochet books at your local library or at like your Indigo chapters stores, and pick up a couple of stitch books, it really helps to have a photo tutorial to show you how stitches are done and things like that. And there might be some good tips in there that will help you when you're learning. There's also YouTube. There's so many great resources out there for you. And then again, if you are stuck, there's local community centers that have classes. A lot of local yarn stores have classes where you can even drop by and ask them questions if you run into problems. So definitely keep an eye out for what's in your area for those, and get yourself some help if you need it. The next question is, what is your dream project? That's a really hard question. What's my dream project? I think it would be probably to maybe, I don't know. I always say that I want to knit a whole drawer of socks, but I don't know if my dream project would be to like design all of those sock patterns. I'd like to just do it for fun. But if it's in terms of what my dream project is for myself and as a designer, then definitely to have a book, to publish a book. So that's on my list of things that I'd like to do in the future. This one is, what other artists inspire you the most? Ooh, that's a really tough one because I do Work Wednesday and I interview makers every week. For me, it's the people that have been around for a really long time and have a lot to contribute to the community. And I find those people the most inspiring. So they may not have a big social media presence, but they've been in the industry so long that they have this wealth of knowledge, and they're so talented, and they have, this huge anthology of designs behind their name. But maybe, they go a little bit under the radar. I love those types of artists because I find them very inspiring. And I love to talk to them and see, if there's ways that I can help them or if they can help me and things like that. So I find artists that have a lot of history behind them very fascinating, because they were able to kind of live through all of the different changes in the industry and watch things grow, and I just find it very interesting, and I find them to be very resilient. The next question is, what's the hardest part of being a professional crochet artist? I feel like the hardest part is the fact that you have to be very present on social media, but it's very easy the longer that you spend on social media to feel that kind of struggle with making and comparing. So you compare yourself to others, you compare yourself to how they're doing, you compare yourself to if you're not doing enough. I find that to be the biggest struggle, and it gets to me every once in a while. So I try to be vocal about it with my friends and family, that if I'm struggling, and they kind of talk to me about it. So I, just recognizing the fact that there is that kind of comparison problem out there is the first step in trying to distance yourself from it, and realizing that, everybody has a different path to take, and that there are only, so many things that people can do. So not everyone can do everything. It's kind of, that's the thing that I struggle with the most, is comparing myself to other people. It's hard, but it's one of the things that you have to work on for sure. This one is, what pattern would you redesign if you could? What pattern would I redesign if I could? I did this one pattern called the Maritime Coast cardigan, and it was made with lightweight yarn, and it's this beautiful green cozy cardigan with a nice ribbed collar to it. And when I first started making garments, I didn't really understand like grading and sizing, so it's only available in one size, which is hilarious because this was a few years ago, and obviously like one size is not very beneficial to a lot of people. So I'd love to go back and revisit that and grade it for larger sizes and make it available again, because that's one of my favorite designs that I've ever done, and I actually wear that cardigan a lot, so that's something that I would redo. This one is, what knitting supplies does a crocheter need to transfer over to knitting? I learned on circular needles, and I learned how to knit continental style. So if you're a crocheter and you'd like to learn how to knit, definitely look up how to knit continental style, because it's held the exact same way that you would hold your yarn in crochet, and I find that it transfers over. The skills transfer over a little bit better if you learn how to knit continental style. This one is a funny one. What is your job? What is your job? I feel like I could do a whole different vlog about what my job is, but let's start at the top then. So my job is I am a social media technician or assistant for Annie's, Annie's is a huge company, a crafting company, and they own things like Annie's Creative Studio, Crochet Magazine, Crochet World Magazine, Quilters World Magazine. They're kind of like a Disney, where they own a whole bunch of different parts of the crafting industry, and I help with the knit and crochet department for that. So I do their social media on a wide spread of pages and platforms. So that's kind of my one job. Then I do Annie's Creative Studio filming, so that's in-home studio filming for crochet tutorials. Then I do, I've been on PBS TV's Knit and Crochet Now through Annie's 2 years in a row, so that's another part of my job. So that's all the Annie's stuff, on top of designing for them. Commission patterns, so for Annie's signature designs and Crochet Magazine, I submit patterns to them as well. Then I do CoCo Crochet Lee, which is my whole business where I design patterns. I submit to different companies like Lion Brand Yarn, and whatever contracts are available at the time. I'm more of a contract designer, and every once in a while I'll put up free patterns on my blog, if they are applicable at the time. If I have a little bit of downtime, I do try. And then I have a part-time job for the city that I live in, where I work a desk job, and it's kind of like a satellite city hall. So I do parking tickets and property taxes and registrations for community programming and all that fun stuff. So I do that several times a week, and it's just very boring computer work. So. But that's all of my jobs. It's very exciting. And I do all of those jobs because my husband is a full-time university student getting his math degree. So I'm the one that's doing all the jobs right now. So it's pretty fun. This one says, what is your favorite animal? My favorite animal is probably a cat. I can't see a cat without stopping and petting it and loving it. I love cats so much. I currently don't have a cat. My cat passed away. She was really old, and I haven't gotten another cat yet, but I am very excited to get another cat soon, I hope. We do have a bunny though, and he's adorable, but he's not a cat. This one is, when did you first learn to crochet? And this will be my last one. When did you first learn to crochet? I first learned how to crochet when my daughter was born. I took a class at a local yarn store, and the person that taught me was Diane from The Hook Pusher, and she is one of my friends now, and you can find her on Instagram at The Hook Pusher, and she's amazing. So that was about 10 years ago now, and that is wild actually. So I'm really excited that she was able to teach me, and I had so much fun learning from her, and she's amazing. So I hope you go and check her out. Thank you so much for watching the vlog this week, you guys. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions that you'd like me to bring up next week, please, please, please drop them in the comments below. You can just scroll all the way up if you're using your mobile, and the comment section will appear. You can leave me a question there. And also, I will be putting up another story question in my stories on Instagram, asking for more questions, just in case you guys wanted to do them there. I can't wait to see you guys next week, and thank you again for watching. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for this vlog from CoCo Crochet Lee. Be sure to check me out on Instagram to see all of the amazing pictures and projects that I am working on a daily basis. And be sure to ask any questions if you have any for next week's vlog. I'll bring them up every single week. And I'd love for you guys to subscribe and to share this around. Sprinkle it a little bit everywhere if you can. I'd really appreciate it. See you next time.